What's up everyone, it's Natalie. Welcome back to my channel if you've seen some of my videos already, or welcome to my channel if you're new. So far on my channel I've made more casual vlog and like lifestyle kind of videos, but today I'm coming at you with a little bit of a different type of video. And as you can see from the title, that is going to be me showing you how I edit my photos for Instagram. I've occasionally gotten questions on Instagram about how I edit my photos, what filters I use, or if I use a preset, or what my editing process is. And I always try to respond to those comments, but it's hard to communicate things over Instagram DMs. So I thought I would just make this video, make it really clear, and just like share how I do that with you guys. Now, as a disclaimer, I want to say I am by no means any like big Instagram influencer, nor am I trying to be. I see social media as a hobby, and I think it's just honestly fun to make my photos look nice, and I think it's satisfying to match my feed all together and like mess around with that. You can see on my Instagram account that I don't have that many followers. That's never my goal. I have it public. If people want to interact with my page or follow me or whatever, like I'm fine with that, but I'm never like pushing to get a certain amount of followers. I've never cared about how many followers I have for my own like ego's sake. I just think social media analytics and like marketing and things like that are fun and fascinating, and something that I could potentially want to incorporate into my career someday. So I mean, that's why I started this whole YouTube channel, is to just like mess around with new platforms and get to know them better. So that's what's up with that. I just quickly wanted to say that because I wouldn't want this video or any videos on my channel to reinforce sort of unhealthy follower hungry mindset. Like I said, I think of this all as a fun hobby that I just do for myself. It makes me feel good, and anyone who wants to follow along or subscribe is more than welcome to do so. With that being said, let's get into my editing process. Okay, hello, it is voiceover Nat here. Can you hear me? Sorry, I already know I'm gonna hate listening back to my own voice while I edit this, but we're in it together. So, welcome to my phone. I'm not giving you a tour ever, so don't ask for one. My hit list remains confidential. I'm kidding. Anyway, so I just use two apps to edit my photos, and they are both free, so that's exciting if you hate spending money on apps but have no problem spending money impulsively otherwise, like me. Anyway, the first app that I use is Facetune. Now, if you're familiar with editing apps, I know what you're thinking when I mention Facetune, but rest assured, because I don't use it to change the shape of my body or anything like that. You actually have to have a paid version of it if you want to do that. Same with the painting tool to change your skin color. I don't condone using social media in unhealthy ways, and I think sometimes people get carried away with the editing to a point where it becomes unhealthy, so I just want to restate that it is important to be conscious of that when you're getting into this stuff. So, what I mainly use Facetune for is to brighten and even out the colors in my pictures so that they fit the rest of the pictures in my feed. So I'm going to go to my recents up here. So this is a picture that I took a while ago. It's a nice even picture, whatever, looking cute, but some of the colors in it don't really match my feed. So the two main tools that I use in here are the whitening tool and the black and white tool. So those are in the retouch little section here, and so the whitening one is right here, and then the black and one is right here. Black and white, I can't talk. The black and white one is right here. You can see that it's like whatever I'm touching, it's making it black and white. You can just hit the back arrow to undo all that. So, but for demo purposes, I'm going to make the ground black and white, so it's just a little bit more cohesive, and then you can change the intensity of the black and white with this little thing. So when I color it in, I usually just have it on high so that I can see where I'm coloring. Go around my shoes, not trying to get my jeans so much, keeping some colors. Okay, so you can see how that's different. And let me actually, I got my jeans a little bit here and I didn't mean to, so I'm gonna use the eraser tool, erase that on my leg. And then I'm gonna move this down a little bit so it's not like super gray, but like a little bit more natural looking. So it doesn't look like orange, but it's not quite. Okay, so I like that. So then I'm going to go to the whitening tool, and usually this is for teeth, but you can use it for that obviously, but I'm not smiling with my teeth here. But what I like using it for is painting. Well, I raise it all the way up to see where I'm painting and then adjust it once I get there, but I just go in the entire picture and just whiten it up. So it's easier, just in my opinion, to like just color in the whole thing. I know it looks crazy right now, but then I go and erase the white on my face because that's not cute. Sometimes I actually like my jeans to be a little bit more like washed, but my ankles are not quite, how I want them. So erase that. Okay, and then, so it's like kind of obnoxiously white right now. So that's when I go in and can adjust how bright it is. And I think I actually want to erase it from my jeans. So I'm gonna do that. Okay, I think that's better. Okay, I think I like around here. That looks good to me. Cool. So I hit the check mark and it's all set. So sometimes you can go through the options here, crop it if you need to, or edit the lighting, but I don't usually mess with this stuff. I usually go into another app, so we're going to do that. I'm going to click up here and save it to my camera roll. The second app that I use is Teza. So I'm going to import the picture that I just edited. Click here, click edit. And I usually like to use the vintage filter because I like the warmth that it brings, and also I like the way that it brightens things and how the contrast will build and pull things together. But if you click on it again, you can adjust the strength of the filter, and I don't like it to be too strong, or else my photos look overly done and like overly filtered. So I think I'm gonna keep it around like 30. And then I go into these little bars over here on the bottom and just mess around with the brightness and exposure and everything as I want to. So again, just trying to make things pretty bright, but not like overly washed out. So I think that's good. I'm gonna bring the shadows up a little bit, but then also bring the contrast up so it kind of doesn't lose too much of it, but it's still brighter. Okay, and then this is the most important part for me. I go into the HSL tool, and this is where I do most of my like color manipulating, I guess. So the first thing I'll usually do is go through the colors that I don't want in the picture. So I don't want any purple. I see if there's any there, and there is. You can see on my sweatshirt, so I bring that down and then move the luminance to like brighten those shadows where it was purple. Blue, I think the blue is a little bit too intense right now, but instead of moving the saturation down, what I'm gonna do is move the luminance up and still actually move the saturation down a little bit. So it's a lighter and whiter blue, but it's not like super obnoxious. Yeah, I'm gonna move that down actually. Okay. I just like mess around with it and play with it until I'm pretty satisfied with it. So I'm gonna see what greens are in this photo. There's just a little bit on the shutters in the background there, so that doesn't bother me. I'm gonna keep that. And then the red, orange, and yellow is where like skin tones usually are. So that I have to be careful with because I don't want to like overdo that. But yellow is usually in the background, like you can see here. So when I bring up the luminance, it makes that yellow a little bit like brighter and lighter, which is again what we want. So I'm gonna do that. Nothing too crazy. Saturation wherever it doesn't, I think it's fine where it was. Like having a little bit of like some toning I think is good. And then this and this will, the red and orange will only really affect my skin tone. So I might darken that down a little bit. Notice how I'm using the luminance and not the saturation, because if I were to use the saturation, it just like looks really funky and like makes my face orange, and that's weird. So I'm going to darken that down a little bit and also do the same with the orange. But then I'm also going to turn the saturation down a little bit so it's not like, so it looks a little bit more gray toned and like muted, like still dark and tan, but not like overly orange, I guess. Okay, so then the last thing I usually do is go into the control for all of the colors and then change the hue. So most of my pictures, I think it might actually be okay in this one, but most of my pictures I have to turn it up a little bit just so I don't look too pink. I don't know, it bugs me sometimes when that happens, but I think this might be okay. Let's see. So I'm gonna click the check mark on that, and I'm feeling pretty good about this picture, yeah. So I'm gonna save it and then click save down here. So it's saved to my camera roll. Okay, so then once I think I've got the photo how I want it, I use another app called Unum. That's not actually an editing app, but it's a planning app. So I use this because I like to see how pictures will look in my feed before I post them, and I can make sure that the tones of the colors I have are cohesive with the rest of my pictures. So let me open that up. So the last picture I've posted is, it's the one on the bottom of me in the white jacket. But all these other ones I have not posted. See, I can't move the ones with the little Instagram logo on them because they're set in stone where they are because I've already posted them, but I can move around all the other ones where I want. So I'm gonna click down here at the bottom, there's the add button, and I'm going to add in that picture that we just edited. This is what's on my Instagram feed so far, so I can drag the photo that we just edited, move it down here, and then see how it'll look compared to the rest of my pictures. So I think that is pretty good. I might actually go back and change the hue a little bit. So I'm gonna go into Tezza again, click this photo, HSL, and then do what I told you I usually do. I'm gonna move that up to 1 just because I think the tone of the pictures a little bit to pink. So then I can go in here, click on the one that was before, and click the replace button down below, media, and then we've got this one that the hue is better on. So yeah, that looks like it matches more. Okay, cool. So now that I like the photo and I think it goes well with my feed, I'm going to go over to Instagram, which I have my social media folder. So then this is the picture that I decided on. It's just the first one there. Mess around with how I want it cropped. I think I like that, so I'm gonna click next. Another thing that I really like is that even if your picture is not completely square, like mine isn't square, it's a little bit more rectangle, and that's how it'll post on my feed, you can see down here on these little squares how it'll look when you want to post it, and how it'll show up in this square on your feed. So that's neat. And then I click next. Okay, so then I do that. I write a caption. I don't know what I want for this picture yet, and this is just a test, so I'm not actually going to post it. But if I were to, then I could add a location, tag friends, whatever, and then press the share button at the top there if I was ready for it. But if I'm not ready to post a picture quite yet, because if I don't want to post it because I want to wait until later in the day so more people can interact with it, or if I haven't thought of a caption yet, then I go back and back again and click Save Draft so that it's all on this top line here that says Drafts. I'm going to click Manage, and so you can see some of the pictures that I've already edited. So those are all there ready to post so that I don't have to scroll a ton and find the right picture again. So then also, if I'm not 100% ready to post it, I make sure to keep it here in Unum so that, I don't know if I'm saying that name right also, but I keep it here so that I can mess around with the order in which I post my pictures. So I want to make sure that I don't have too many super bright pictures in a row, or they're clumped. So this picture, oops, why is it not letting me? Okay, so the picture of me with the trees in the background right here on the bottom right, that's not as white and bright. And then this picture of Finn is also kind of dark, and so they look kind of weird right next to each other, on top of each other. So then in that case, I would move Finn over here so that breaks it up more. But then this row right here is also pretty bright, so I mix in some other pictures and just mess around with it so that it's more scattered and can just be broken up. So I do that so that there's not too many light pictures in a row or too many dark pictures, so it's just a good mix-up of things. Okay, so that's my secret. Like I said, I've just gotten DMs and comments from close friends to random strangers on my Instagram about how I edit my photos and filters and everything like that. So I just figured I'd make this video since I'm already starting a YouTube channel and I needed an idea for a video to film. Let me know if you have any questions on what I did, or if I didn't explain something super clearly, or also if you have suggestions for me. I would love to make my life easier when it comes to editing, so if I'm doing something wrong or you have another way of doing it, let me know. Share what you do to edit your pictures, because I'm just curious. So you can comment that down below, whatever, or DM me. I hope this video was fun and useful. Let me know if you liked it. Give it a thumbs up if you did so I can know that you did. I have some new video ideas stirring around in my head, so make sure to subscribe also to keep tabs on those and to look out for them. But thanks for watching this video, and I will see you in another one.